If you're enjoying this story, subscribe to Satoshi's Lullaby. New episodes every day. Now, let's continue. Close your eyes. It's January 12th, 2009, Santa Barbara, California. A man named Hal Finney sits at his computer, running the Bitcoin software for the first time. A notification appears. Someone has sent him 10 Bitcoin. The sender is Satoshi Nakamoto. Hal types back, running Bitcoin. Those two words, the first transaction in Bitcoin history. And Hal Finney was on the other end of it, not by accident, but because he had spent his entire career believing that cryptography could set people free. And when Satoshi published the white paper, Hal was one of the only people on Earth who truly understood what it meant. 5 years later, Hal Finney died of ALS. He was 60 years old. His body was cryonically preserved, because even at the end, he was not ready to stop believing in what technology could do. In the digital ether, this transaction is the first of its kind. A new frontier quietly announced, not with fanfare but with a whisper that will grow into a global roar. Hal Finney, a cryptographer by trade and a visionary by spirit, stands at the threshold of a revolution. It's not the first time he's found himself at such a crossroads. Years earlier, he was instrumental in the development of PGP, a cryptographic software that sparked intense debate over privacy and security in a digital age. Born on May 4, 1956, in the small town of Coalinga, California, Hal's journey began in a place few might imagine as the birthplace of a digital pioneer. Coalinga, with its sunlit streets and modest homes, shaped a young Hal who would later attend the California Institute of Technology, or Caltech, a crucible for his burgeoning intellect. There, among peers and mentors, he honed the skills that would one day allow him to decipher the intricate codes that would change the world. The early 1990s saw the rise of a community that would come to play a pivotal role in the digital landscape, the cypherpunks. Hal was not just a participant, but a luminary within this group, whose members were united by a shared belief in the power of cryptography to protect individual privacy in an increasingly interconnected world. Among them, discussions were both theoretical and practical, blending idealism with precise technical knowledge. It was a movement that laid the groundwork for what was to come, setting the stage for Bitcoin's eventual creation. Fast forward to October 2008, when a paper appeared on a cryptography mailing list authored by the enigmatic Satoshi Nakamoto. It outlined a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, a vision for a decentralized future, free from the constraints of traditional financial systems. Hal read the white paper with the same clarity and understanding that had guided him throughout his life. He saw not just the mechanism, but the potential, the change it promised. As he engaged in dialogue with the mysterious Nakamoto, Hal found a partner in thought and action. Their exchanges, though digital, were filled with the urgency of pioneers mapping uncharted territories. They were the architects of a network that was, at that time, more concept than reality. Yet, Hal's commitment to the project was unwavering, his belief in its transformative power resolute. In August 2009, just months after receiving that fateful transaction, Hal's life took a turn that no amount of foresight could have predicted. Diagnosed with ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, he faced the reality of a disease that would progressively rob him of physical strength while leaving his mind as sharp as ever. But even as his body weakened, his spirit and determination did not falter. Hal Finney passed away in August 2014, yet his story did not end with his death. In accordance with his wishes, his body was cryonically preserved by the Alcor Life Extension Foundation in Scottsdale, Arizona. There, it waits in liquid nitrogen, held in the hope of a future where the boundaries of life and death might blur. This is not just the story of Bitcoin or cryptography. It is the story of Hal Finney, a man whose life was a testament to the power of belief and the courage to dream. As we begin Chapter 1, let's step into the world that shaped him, Back to where it all began, Coalinga. As we begin Chapter 1, let's step into the world that shaped him. Back to where it all began, Coalinga. A small town nestled in the Central Valley of California, Coalinga is defined by its oil fields and a sense of community built on resilience. It was here, on May 4, 1956, that Hal Finney was born, the first child of Virginia and Harold Finney. The Finneys were part of the town's fabric, known for their modesty and industrious spirit, qualities they imparted to their children. Surrounded by the vast stretches of arid land, Coalinga in the 1950s offered a simple yet challenging life. The population, hovering around 3,000, was engaged primarily in oil extraction and agriculture. The rhythm of life was punctuated by the hum of oil drills, which cast long shadows over the landscape as the community worked tirelessly in pursuit of a better future. Hal's father, Harold, worked in the oil fields, a testament to the labor-intensive economic backbone of Coalinga. His mother, Virginia, was a homemaker whose warmth and dedication provided a stable foundation for Hal and his siblings. The values of hard work and perseverance were ingrained in Hal from an early age, traits that would become hallmarks of his character. In the summers, the heat was relentless, often reaching well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet, for the children of Coalinga, these months were a time of exploration and learning. Hal frequently immersed himself in books, a small-town boy with a mind that craved the wonders of the universe beyond his immediate surroundings. His interest in science and technology was evident early on, as he dismantled gadgets to understand their inner workings, much to the bemusement of his family. The small community fostered a close-knit environment where everyone knew each other, and news traveled fast. The Finney household was no different, as neighbors often dropped by for a chat or a cup of coffee. These interactions enriched young Hal's worldview, teaching him the importance of community and collaboration. As Hal grew, so did his appetite for knowledge. He excelled academically, attending Coalinga High School, where he displayed a remarkable aptitude for mathematics and science. His teachers noted his quick intellect and insatiable curiosity, often finding him lost in thought over complex problems. It was during these formative years that Hal's passion for cryptography began to take root, sparked by his fascination with puzzles and codes. In 1974, Hal graduated from Coalinga High School with honors, his potential evident to all who knew him. Encouraged by his teachers and family, he applied to the California Institute of Technology, one of the most prestigious institutions in the country. Caltech, located in Pasadena, California, represented a new world of opportunities, a place where intellectual curiosity was celebrated and nurtured. Hal's acceptance into Caltech was a pivotal moment, a recognition of years of dedication and hard work. He left Coalinga with a mix of excitement and trepidation, stepping into a future that promised both challenges and triumphs. At Caltech, Hal found himself among peers who shared his passion for innovation and discovery, an environment that was both competitive and collaborative. His years at Caltech were transformative, filled with rigorous academic pursuits and groundbreaking research. Hal majored in engineering, a field that perfectly aligned with his penchant for problem-solving and technology. It was here that he first encountered the world of computer science, a burgeoning field that was rapidly changing the landscape of technology. Graduating in 1979, Hal emerged with a solid foundation in engineering and a burgeoning interest in software development. The transition from academia to the professional world was seamless, as he joined the software industry at a time when personal computing was on the cusp of revolutionizing the world. Hal's early career was marked by innovation and a relentless pursuit of excellence. He worked for several technology companies in California, drawing upon his knowledge and skills to develop software that pushed the boundaries of what was possible. His work was characterized by an attention to detail, and a commitment to quality, attributes that earned him respect and recognition among his peers. Despite the demands of his career, Hal remained deeply connected to his roots. He often returned to Coalinga, where the familiar sights and sounds provided solace and inspiration. The small-town values of honesty, integrity, and hard work continued to guide him, even as he navigated the complexities of the tech industry. As the 1980s unfolded, the world was rapidly embracing the digital age. The introduction of personal computers transformed the way people interacted with technology, and Hal was at the forefront of this revolution. His work in software development placed him in a unique position to contribute to this transformative era as he explored new frontiers in cryptography and digital security. It was during this time that Hal's path intersected with the burgeoning field of cryptography, a domain that would come to define much of his career. His interest in secure communications and privacy led him to become involved with the development of PGP, a groundbreaking cryptographic software program created by Phil Zimmermann in 1991. PGP, or Pretty Good Privacy, symbolized a paradigm shift in how individuals could protect their personal information in an increasingly digital world. Hal's contributions to PGP were significant, as he worked tirelessly to improve its functionality and accessibility. He became a key figure in the cryptography community, advocating for the importance of privacy and security in digital communications. In Coalinga, the oil fields continued their rhythmic dance, a backdrop to Hal's evolving journey. The town remained a touchstone, a reminder of the values and experiences that had shaped him. As Hal's career progressed, he carried with him the lessons of his upbringing, forever influenced by the simplicity and earnestness of his hometown. Looking forward, Hal's story was far from over. His involvement with cryptography and digital privacy was just the beginning of a remarkable odyssey. As he navigated the challenges and opportunities of a rapidly changing technological landscape, Hal Finney remained steadfast in his commitment to innovation and progress. And so, we conclude this chapter with a sense of anticipation. The seeds of Hal's future endeavors were sown in the fertile grounds of Coalinga, and their growth was yet to be fully realized. As we turn the page, we prepare to explore the next stage of Hal's extraordinary journey, the PGP years, a chapter marked by groundbreaking achievements and profound impact. With the foundation of his technical prowess laid at Caltech, Hal Finney entered the world of cryptography, a field poised to redefine privacy in the digital age. It was the late 1980s when Finney began immersing himself in the burgeoning ideas of secure communication. He had joined Philip Zimmermann's project Pretty Good Privacy, or PGP, as one of its first dedicated developers. This software would soon become a cornerstone of digital privacy, allowing individuals to send secure messages across the internet. PGP was born out of a desire to protect the individual's right to privacy, a notion that resonated deeply with Finney. Zimmermann released PGP in 1991, a time when the internet was emerging as a new frontier of communication. The impact of this software was immediate, and its adoption spread rapidly, triggering a new discourse on the balance between national security and personal privacy. Finney, alongside Zimmermann, worked tirelessly to improve the software, ensuring its robustness against any potential vulnerabilities. However, this leap towards privacy did not come without its challenges. The United States government, considering strong encryption to be akin to munitions, imposed strict export controls that classified PGP alongside military weapons. In 1993, Zimmermann faced a federal investigation, which put the entire project under scrutiny. During this tumultuous period, Finney's commitment never wavered. He believed in the power of cryptography as a force for good, a viewpoint that aligned with the nascent cypherpunk movement. The cypherpunks were a collective of activists and technologists who advocated for the use of cryptography to achieve privacy and security in the digital world. It was in this community that Finney found like-minded individuals committed to similar ideals. They communicated through an influential mailing list, where ideas flowed freely and the seeds of future technologies were sown. Among the members were notable figures such as Julian Assange, Timothy C. May, and Eric Hughes. Each contributed to the movement's foundational principles, which would eventually influence the decentralization of the Internet. In this vibrant exchange of ideas, Hal Finney's voice was prominent. He was known not only for his technical acumen, but also for his generosity in mentoring newcomers. His emails were characterized by clarity and patience, often providing detailed explanations and guidance. Finney's contributions were not limited to theoretical discussions. He actively participated in creating real-world applications of these concepts. His work on PGP and later on anonymous remailers exemplified his commitment to a vision of a more private and secure digital landscape. As the 1990s progressed, the cypherpunk ethos began to permeate the broader tech community. Finney, ever at the forefront, continued to push the boundaries of what was possible. In 2004, he developed reusable proofs of work, a precursor concept to what would later become essential to Bitcoin's blockchain technology. This invention illustrated Finney's foresight into the potential of decentralized systems. He understood that cryptographic solutions could underpin new forms of currency and governance, reducing reliance on traditional centralized authorities. Finney's work caught the attention of a mysterious figure, or group, known only as Satoshi Nakamoto. In late 2008, Nakamoto released a white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This document proposed a decentralized digital currency platform that resonated with the ideals championed by the cypherpunks. Intrigued, Finney engaged with Nakamoto through email and quickly became involved in the nascent Bitcoin project. His technical expertise and philosophical alignment with Bitcoin's core tenets made him an invaluable early collaborator. On January 12, 2009, Hal Finney became the recipient of the very first Bitcoin transaction. Satoshi Nakamoto sent him 10 Bitcoin, marking a historic moment in the evolution of digital currency. This transaction symbolized more than just a test of the system. It was a validation of years of theoretical work and experimentation within the cypherpunk community. Finney immediately recognized the transformative potential of Bitcoin, both as a currency and as a new way to think about trust and value exchange online. As Bitcoin began to gain traction, Finney played a crucial role in refining its code and advocating for its adoption. His contributions helped stabilize the fledgling network and encouraged others to explore its applications. He often shared his insights and progress with the community, fostering an environment of collaboration and innovation. Finney's optimism about Bitcoin's potential was infectious. He envisioned a future where digital currencies could empower individuals and challenge existing financial paradigms. In August 2009, however, a personal crisis emerged. Hal Finney was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, a progressive neurological disease. This diagnosis brought a profound change to his life as he faced the degeneration of his physical capabilities. Yet in the face of this adversity, his intellectual fervor remained unyielded. Even as his body weakened, Finney continued his work, his mind still sharp and his spirit undeterred. The news of his illness echoed through the Bitcoin and cryptographic communities, inspiring an outpouring of support and admiration. Finney's resilience became a testament to the strength of the human spirit, an enduring reminder of the impact one individual could have on technology and society. His unwavering dedication to his work, amidst personal challenges, highlighted the depth of his character and commitment to a cause larger than himself. As the shadows of his disease lengthened, Finney began considering the concept of cryonics, a process to preserve his body after death, with the hope of future revival. This decision reflected his belief in science and technology to solve seemingly insurmountable problems. Cryonics, like Bitcoin and cryptography, represented a frontier of exploration, challenging perceptions of life, death, and the possibilities of the future. Hal Finney's journey through the world of cryptographic innovation and his indomitable spirit in the face of life's challenges laid the groundwork for his enduring legacy. His story is one of vision, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to the transformative power of technology. As we move forward into the next chapter, we'll explore how Finney's contributions to Bitcoin and his philosophical insights continue to shape the future of digital currency and cryptographic thought. As we move forward into the next chapter, we'll explore how Finney's contributions to Bitcoin and his philosophical insights continue to shape the future of digital currency and cryptographic thought. But to truly understand the depth of his influence, we must first delve into the world that birthed his ideas: the cypherpunks. The cypherpunk movement emerged in the late 1980s, at the intersection of rising digital communication and the quest for personal privacy. It was a group that thrived on the exchange of ideas, often passionate debates that filled the online mailing list. These conversations were not just about theory, but about the practical application of cryptography to secure individual freedoms. Hal Finney was a central figure in this community. His involvement went beyond mere participation. He embodied the ethos of the cypherpunks. The phrase, "cypherpunks write code," was not just a slogan, but a call to action, one that Finney fully embraced. His contributions to the cryptographic dialogue were both technical and philosophical. In the early 1990s, the world was beginning to grapple with the implications of digital privacy. Governments, particularly the United States, viewed strong encryption as a potential threat. The export of cryptographic software was classified under munitions, tightly regulated by law. It was within this contentious environment that programs like PGP, or Pretty Good Privacy, emerged. Created by Phil Zimmermann in 1991, PGP offered a way for ordinary people to secure their communications. Hal Finney, already versed in cryptographic principles, joined Zimmermann's efforts, contributing his expertise to refine and develop PGP further. His work helped make PGP more accessible and reliable, positioning it as a powerful tool for privacy advocates and, indeed, anyone concerned about their digital security. The stakes were high. In 1993, Zimmermann faced legal scrutiny from the United States government, which considered PGP's distribution a potential violation of export controls. This legal challenge was not just about one software program. It was a battle for the right to privacy in the digital age. Finney's involvement in these early years of PGP demonstrated his commitment to the cause. He was not just a technologist, but a visionary who foresaw the importance of privacy protections in an increasingly connected world. His belief in the power of cryptography as a tool for social good was unwavering. As the 1990s progressed, the cypherpunk movement continued to gain momentum. The mailing list was abuzz with discussions about everything from digital cash to anonymous remailers. These ideas were not just theoretical exercises. They had the potential to reshape society's approach to privacy and digital interactions. One of the most significant topics of conversation was the concept of digital currency. The ability to transfer value without intermediaries, securely and privately, was a tantalizing prospect. Hal Finney, with his sharp intellect and technical prowess, was deeply engaged in these discussions. He was particularly interested in the potential for digital currencies to empower individuals. By the early 2000s, the groundwork laid by the cypherpunks would begin to bear fruit. The cryptographic principles they espoused started to find their way into practical implementations. But it wasn't until 2008, with the publication of the Bitcoin white paper by the enigmatic Satoshi Nakamoto, that the dream of a decentralized digital currency would become a reality. Hal Finney's role in the birth of Bitcoin was pivotal. He was one of the first people to interact with Nakamoto, recognizing the potential of Bitcoin's underlying blockchain technology. On January 12, 2009, Finney received the first ever Bitcoin transaction, a symbolic gesture that signaled the dawn of a new era in digital currency. The relationship between Finney and Nakamoto was professional and collaborative. Their exchanges, though brief, were marked by mutual respect and shared purpose. Finney's work on Bitcoin went beyond mere support. He actively contributed to its development and early testing, providing critical feedback that helped refine the system. But just as his involvement with Bitcoin was gaining momentum, life took an unexpected turn. In August 2009, Hal Finney was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS. This diagnosis was a profound blow, a cruel twist of fate that threatened to silence one of the most brilliant minds in cryptography. Despite the diagnosis, Finney's resolve remained steadfast. He continued to work on Bitcoin, contributing to discussions and offering insights whenever possible. His diagnosis, rather than diminishing his spirit, seemed to amplify his sense of purpose. Finney's battle with ALS was public, and his courage in facing the disease inspired many. He communicated through online forums, sharing his experiences and thoughts on Bitcoin's potential future. His resilience and optimism in the face of adversity were a testament to his character. He understood that Bitcoin was more than just a technology. It was an idea capable of transforming financial systems. Finney envisioned a future where Bitcoin could serve as a backbone for a more equitable economy. His technical contributions, coupled with his philosophical insights, set the stage for Bitcoin's continued evolution. Finney passed away on August 28, 2014, leaving behind a legacy marked by innovation and perseverance. His body was cryonically preserved by the Alcor Life Extension Foundation, a decision that underscored his belief in the potential of future technologies. This choice was deeply personal, reflecting his enduring hope in humanity's ability to overcome even the most daunting challenges. Hal Finney's life was a journey defined by curiosity, conviction, and an unwavering commitment to the principles he held dear. His story is not just about the evolution of digital currency, but about the human capacity to dream and strive for a better world. As we look to the future, his insights continue to resonate, guiding new generations of technologists and thinkers. In the next chapter, we will delve deeper into the impact of his work on Bitcoin's development and the community that flourished in its wake. Finney's vision lives on, a beacon for those who dare to imagine a future shaped by innovation and integrity. Finney's vision lives on, a beacon for those who dare to imagine a future shaped by innovation and integrity. It was a cold morning on January 12, 2009, when a new chapter in the history of currency was quietly being written. The Genesis block of Bitcoin had been mined only a week prior, and it was on this day that Hal Finney made history as the recipient of the first Bitcoin transaction. In a digital world just beginning to grapple with the concept of decentralized money, Hal's actions were nothing short of foundational. Satoshi Nakamoto, the enigmatic creator of Bitcoin, sent 10 Bitcoin to Finney. This transaction, recorded forever on the blockchain, was both a technical test and a symbolic gesture. It cemented a bond between creator and collaborator, a partnership that would propel Bitcoin from an obscure idea to a global phenomenon. For Hal, the transaction was more than a technical curiosity. It was a glimpse into a future where financial systems could exist beyond the reach of centralized control. Hal's first encounter with Bitcoin had been serendipitous. An active member of the cypherpunk community, he was naturally curious about new developments in cryptography and digital privacy. The cypherpunks, a collection of programmers, activists, and theorists, were united by the belief that cryptography could shape a free and open society. They envisioned a world where privacy was not a privilege, but a fundamental right, and Bitcoin, with its promise of pseudonymous transactions, fit perfectly into this vision. In those early days of Bitcoin, communication with Satoshi Nakamoto was frequent yet cryptic. Satoshi, who remained an elusive figure, communicated with Hal through emails and forum posts. Despite never meeting in person, their exchanges were marked by mutual respect and a shared commitment to the revolutionary potential of Bitcoin. Hal's correspondence with Satoshi was filled with technical discussions, bug reports, and philosophical musings on the nature of money and trust. The year 2009 was pivotal not just for Bitcoin, but for Hal personally. That August, he was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS. ALS is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. The diagnosis was a turning point, a harbinger of change that would affect every facet of Hal's life. Yet, even as his physical capabilities began to diminish, his intellectual vigor and dedication to his work remained unshaken. The diagnosis came as a shock to his family and friends. His wife, Hal Finney, became his steadfast partner in facing the challenges ahead. Together, they navigated the harsh realities of a disease that offered limited options and demanded relentless courage. Despite the emotional weight of his condition, Hal continued to work on Bitcoin and contribute to its development. The community rallied around him, inspired by his perseverance and dedication. Hal's contributions to Bitcoin were not limited to receiving that first transaction. He was instrumental in refining the software and improving its security. In those early days, Bitcoin was fragile, its future uncertain, and Hal's technical insights were invaluable. He helped identify vulnerabilities and proposed solutions, ensuring that Bitcoin could withstand the rigors of growth and adoption. Beyond the technical realm, Hal's optimism for Bitcoin's potential was contagious. He believed in a future where financial freedom and personal privacy could coexist. His writings reflected a deep understanding of both the promise and the responsibility that came with creating a new currency. Hal envisioned a world transformed, where Bitcoin would empower individuals and challenge the status quo of financial systems. As Bitcoin began to gain traction, Hal's role in the community evolved. He became a mentor and advocate, sharing his knowledge with new developers and enthusiasts alike. His humility and openness made him a beloved figure, respected not just for his technical acumen, but for his integrity and kindness. Hal's living room often became an informal gathering space for discussions about Bitcoin and cryptography. Throughout this period, Hal's health continued to decline. ALS is relentless, and over time, it stripped him of the ability to move and speak. Yet, even as his physical world shrank, Hal found new ways to engage with the digital world he loved. Using adaptive technologies, he continued to write, communicate, and code, remaining a vital part of the Bitcoin community. In 2010, the world began to take notice of Bitcoin. Media outlets started to cover its rise, and the first exchanges appeared, offering a way to trade Bitcoin for traditional currencies. This newfound attention brought both opportunity and scrutiny. Hal watched as Bitcoin moved from a niche project to a subject of global interest, quietly influencing debates about economics and technology. Despite his challenges, Hal maintained a hopeful outlook. He often spoke about the future, not just of Bitcoin, but of humanity. His vision extended beyond currency to how cryptographic principles could foster greater trust and cooperation in society. Hal's optimism was not blind. It was grounded in a deep belief in the power of human ingenuity and resilience. As the years went by, Hal prepared for the inevitable. With Fran's unwavering support, he made plans to have his body cryonically preserved, hoping for a future where medical advances might offer a second chance. The Alcor Life Extension Foundation in Scottsdale, Arizona, would become Hal's final resting place, his body preserved in a state of pause, waiting for a world yet to come. Hal Finney passed away in August 2014. His death marked the end of a remarkable journey, yet his legacy endures. Through his work and his words, Hal left an indelible mark on the world. He remains a symbol of hope and perseverance, a reminder of what can be achieved when vision meets action. As we look forward, we reflect on Hal's contributions and the enduring impact of his life's work. With each new block added to the blockchain, his influence continues to resonate, inspiring future innovators and dreamers. The narrative of Bitcoin and digital currency is still being written, and Hal Finney's spirit guides us as we turn the page to the next chapter. The narrative of Bitcoin and digital currency is still being written, and Hal Finney's spirit guides us as we turn the page to the next chapter. It was August of 2009, just months after Finney received the first Bitcoin transaction from the enigmatic Satoshi Nakamoto. The digital currency world was still in its infancy, much like a sapling, fragile yet holding the promise of growth. Yet for Hal, the year brought a personal storm that no amount of foresight could have predicted. Hal Finney had always been synonymous with tenacity. Known for his intellectual curiosity, his days were often spent tinkering with cryptography and digital innovations. The same diligence that had propelled him through his early career now faced its greatest test. In August, the devastating diagnosis came: amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, commonly known as ALS. This condition, often called Lou Gehrig's disease, marked a significant turn in his life. The news came as a shock to both Hal and the community he had nurtured through his work. ALS, a progressive neurodegenerative disease, presented a cruel dichotomy. While his mind would remain sharp, his body would gradually betray him. It was the kind of irony that Hal, a man deeply rooted in logic and forward thinking, confronted head-on. For Hal, confronting ALS was not about resignation, but adaptation. He continued to work on Bitcoin developments despite the physical limitations that crept in. Support from his family, especially his wife Fran, became a cornerstone of strength. Their partnership, forged in love and mutual respect, became a testament to enduring human spirit in the face of adversity. Hal's diagnosis did not deter him from the digital frontier he was so passionate about. He remained an active voice in forums and discussions surrounding Bitcoin's potential, emphasizing its role in decentralizing power away from traditional financial systems. This echoed his earlier work with the cypherpunks, their rally cry for privacy and autonomy in a digital age. His belief in Bitcoin was unwavering, even as his physical condition deteriorated. He envisioned a future where Bitcoin could serve as a tool for financial empowerment. It was a vision rooted not just in technology, but in a deeply human desire for freedom and fairness. Hal's contributions during this time went beyond code. They were philosophical, reflective of a world he wished to see realized. The year 2009 was pivotal not only for Bitcoin, but also for Hal's circle of influence. The small yet fervent community of developers and enthusiasts rallied around him, inspired by his resilience. Profiles like Satoshi Nakamoto remained shrouded in mystery, yet their collaboration with Hal painted a picture of shared ideals. This sense of camaraderie was a reminder that, at its core, the digital currency movement was about people as much as it was about technology. August 5, 2009 stood out as a somber date, marking the first public hint of his diagnosis. Hal posted on the Bitcoin Talk forum about his condition, sharing his journey candidly with the world. The outpouring of support was immediate and heartfelt, a testament to the connections he had built over the years. Community members expressed their gratitude, offering words of encouragement and admiration. It was a moment where the virtual world felt palpably real, each message a touchstone of support. Despite the challenges, Hal maintained his characteristic optimism. He often spoke about the future with an unwavering belief in technological progress. His work on PGP and Bitcoin was not just about the code, but about laying the groundwork for a world where privacy and freedom were paramount. This outlook persevered, even as ALS began to limit his mobility and speech. Hal's adaptability was remarkable. Technology soon became an ally in his personal battle. He began using voice recognition software to continue communicating and working. This adaptation allowed him to remain active online, contributing to discussions and advancing ideas within the crypto community. It was an inspiring testament to how technology could transcend its own boundaries, offering empowerment even in the most challenging circumstances. With every passing month, the reality of ALS settled in more deeply. Yet Hal's spirit never wavered. His legacy was being forged in real time, not just through his work on Bitcoin, but through the example he set of facing adversity with grace and determination. It was a legacy that spoke volumes about the kind of person he was: resilient, compassionate, and forward-thinking. In late 2009, Hal's condition worsened, yet his contributions to Bitcoin remained significant. He continued to advocate for its potential, engaging with both skeptics and supporters. This engagement highlighted his belief in dialogue and understanding, pivotal values in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. The narrative of Hal Finney, especially through this challenging period, serves as a poignant reminder of the human element within technological advancements. It's a story of perseverance, hope, and the enduring power of ideas to shape the future. As we reflect on these moments, Hal's life becomes a beacon not just for those within the cryptographic community, but for anyone who faces seemingly insurmountable odds. As we close this chapter, we turn our gaze to the horizon, where Hal's legacy continues to inspire. In the face of life's uncertainties, his journey embodies the courage to dream and the tenacity to build. The next chapter beckons us to explore how his vision for Bitcoin and digital currency continues to unfold, casting a long shadow into a future he helped to imagine. The next chapter beckons us to explore how his vision for Bitcoin and digital currency continues to unfold, casting a long shadow into a future he helped to imagine. Hal Finney's enduring legacy in the nascent world of cryptocurrency is one of quiet innovation and profound foresight. Despite the progression of his illness, his mind remained as sharp as ever, weaving patterns of digital possibility that would resonate long after his voice grew silent. In the years following Bitcoin's inception, the world began to take notice of this new form of decentralized currency. Finney, alongside other early adopters, envisioned a system that transcended traditional financial boundaries. He saw Bitcoin not just as a tool for economic transaction, but as a beacon of technological advancement. For those like Hal, who had been immersed in the ideals of privacy and open-source technology, Bitcoin represented more than just code. It was a movement. It was a step towards a vision where control and power were decentralized, distributed among the very people who used the currency. The first Bitcoin transaction, made on January 12, 2009, was historic not just for its simplicity, but for the relationships it represented. Satoshi Nakamoto, the enigmatic creator of Bitcoin, sent Hal Finney 10 Bitcoin. This was a gesture of trust and of shared understanding in a technology so new that many could not yet grasp its implications. Bitcoin's early community was small, yet passionate. Each figure was a pioneer, treading into unknown territories with a sense of purpose. Hal contributed tirelessly, solving problems and refining concepts that would solidify Bitcoin's foundation. Yet, as Bitcoin began to grow, challenges emerged: technical, ethical, and legal. The infrastructure necessary to support a global digital currency was still in its infancy. Finney envisioned solutions, often engaging in lively debates on message boards and forums, where ideas were exchanged across continents. In these digital halls, Hal's voice was one of reasoned optimism. He was respected not only for his technical acumen, but for his ability to inspire those around him. His contributions were not merely technical, but philosophical, helping to shape the ethos of what Bitcoin and blockchain technology could become. Hal experienced firsthand the transformative power of Bitcoin. Those early days were filled with experimentation and hope. Yet as he navigated this new digital frontier, his personal battle with ALS was intensifying. The diagnosis in August 2009 was a turning point, yet Finney approached this challenge with characteristic resolve. He continued his work, his keen mind undeterred by the weakening of his physical body. Despite the progression of his illness, Hal remained deeply involved in the Bitcoin community. He wrote extensively about his experiences, not just with the technology, but with the human aspects of his journey. His posts were filled with optimism, even as his circumstances became more challenging. "I'm pretty lucky," he once wrote. "My life expectancy is long enough for the future I am looking forward to." This statement encapsulates the essence of Hal's perspective, a future-oriented vision where technology and human will converge to overcome obstacles. As Bitcoin began to gain traction in wider economic circles, Hal's early work was recognized as foundational. His foresight into Bitcoin's potential was not just technical, but deeply human. He saw how it could transform economies and empower individuals across the globe. Finney understood the implications of a decentralized economy. He saw it as a leveler, a tool that could provide financial security and independence to those traditionally marginalized by global financial systems. As Bitcoin's value began to rise, those early transactions, made in the spirit of experimentation, became symbols of a new economic era. Through Hal's efforts, many began to see Bitcoin not just as a currency, but as a catalyst for change in the way we think about value, trust, and community. Even as his physical strength waned, Hal's spirit remained unbroken. He communicated through a computer system that translated his eye movements into text, allowing him to stay connected with the world he helped shape. These interactions were more than just exchanges of information. They were acts of defiance against the limitations imposed by his disease. They were an affirmation of his beliefs and his continued influence on the community he cherished. In 2013, Bitcoin's price soared, reaching $1,000 for the first time. News outlets around the world began to cover the digital currency with increasing frequency, often citing its early pioneers. While Hal was reluctant to take credit for these developments, his impact was undeniable. His ideas and contributions were woven into the very fabric of Bitcoin's DNA. Ultimately, Hal's greatest legacy might not be the code he wrote or the Bitcoins he mined, but the community he inspired. He taught those around him to believe in the power of decentralized technology and to harness it for the greater good. Hal Finney passed away in August 2014, his body preserved cryonically with the hope that future advancements might one day restore him. This decision was consistent with his lifelong belief in the possibilities of technology and human perseverance. As we reflect on his journey, it becomes clear that Hal's influence extends far beyond the technical achievements of his lifetime. He was a visionary who saw potential in the digital and human network, a potential that continues to unfold. In the next chapter, we will explore how Hal's decision to preserve his body reflects his faith in the future, a future he helped to imagine not just for himself, but for all of us. Cryonics was a decision not made lightly. Hal Finney, ever the forward thinker, was drawn to the potential of science to preserve life beyond its contemporary limits. On the day of his passing, August 28, 2014, Hal's body was transferred with meticulous care to the Alcor Life Extension Foundation in Scottsdale, Arizona. Here, nestled in the desert, Alcor's facility hums quietly, with the promise of future possibilities. The concept of cryonics traces back to the 1960s, when advancements in medical technology and a burgeoning science fiction culture sparked interest in preserving human bodies at low temperatures. The hope was that these bodies could be revived decades or even centuries later when cures for their ailments had been discovered. Alcor, one of the leaders in the field, was established in 1972 by Fred and Linda Chamberlain. They envisioned a future where death was not the end but a pause, a transition to a new phase of existence. Hal and Fran Finney learned about cryonics during the 1990s, a decade marked by rapid technological advancement and growing interest in extending human life. As a software engineer and cryptographic pioneer, Hal was intrigued by the idea of preservation through technology. For Hal, cryonics represented not just a personal hope for longevity, but a testament to his lifelong belief in the power of human ingenuity. The process that awaited Hal at Alcor was as precise as it was complex. Following his legal death, technicians initiated the preservation protocol designed to minimize cellular damage. First, his body was cooled gradually, reducing core temperature to inhibit decay. Then, the blood was replaced with cryoprotectant solutions, antifreeze-like substances that prevent ice formation during freezing. Finally, Hal's body was cooled to a deep cryogenic temperature of -196 degrees Celsius and stored in a duoral, a specially designed container filled with liquid nitrogen. Fran stood by throughout the process, her resolve unwavering. She saw in Hal's choice a continuation of their shared adventures into the unknown. To her, the decision felt natural, akin to the many technological leaps they had witnessed together. Family and friends had varied reactions. Some marveled at the science behind cryonics. Others were skeptical, viewing it as an impossibility cloaked in technology's hopeful guise. From Coalinga to Caltech, to the innovative corridors of cryptography and digital currencies, Hal's journey was one of constant exploration and boundary pushing. His engagement with cryonics was yet another chapter in this narrative, a statement of faith in the future. Alcor's director, Max Moore, reflected on Hal's induction into their program with a sense of respect. He acknowledged Hal not only as a client but as a visionary, someone who embraced the potential of technology to transcend human limitations. Alcor's mission, after all, was aligned with Hal's lifelong quest to explore and harness the power of the digital frontier. Hal's decision to be cryonically preserved has sparked debates within the scientific community and beyond. Critics argue that the technology to revive a cryonically preserved body does not yet exist and may never exist. They point to the biological challenges inherent in freezing and potentially reviving complex organisms without losing the essence of what makes them human. Supporters, however, see Hal's choice as an affirmation of the spirit of innovation. They believe cryonics is a natural extension of medical and technological progress, a frontier that, with enough time and dedication, could be crossed. For them, Hal's story is emblematic of human hope, the belief that today's impossibilities could become tomorrow's realities. Throughout Hal's life, his engagement with pioneering technologies was driven by more than curiosity. It was a profound commitment to improving the human condition, whether through cryptography, digital currencies, or cryonics. His work in cryptography with Phil Zimmermann and his role as an early Bitcoin adopter underscored a larger vision of empowering individuals through privacy and economic freedom. In choosing cryonics, Hal extended this vision beyond his own lifetime. It was an act of optimism for a future where the boundaries of life and death might be reconsidered and redefined. As Fran visits Hal's preserved body at Alcor, she contemplates the passage of time and the memories they shared. The journey from their early days in California to the cutting-edge realms of digital currency and cryonic preservation was remarkable. While Hal's physical presence is paused, His influence and the echoes of his journeys continue to inspire. For those in the Bitcoin and cryptographic communities, Hal's legacy is palpable. He remains a symbol of the early, idealistic days of the digital currency movement, an era characterized by collaboration, innovation, and the shared belief in a decentralized future. His contributions to PGP laid the groundwork for the digital privacy we hold dear today. In cryopreservation, Hal's story finds an unusual yet fitting chapter, a testament to his unyielding curiosity and belief in the future. Hal's life was a tapestry of exploration and invention. His choice in death mirrored the same ethos that guided his life, determination to push beyond known limits. As we close this chapter, we look forward to exploring the broader impact of Hal Finney's journey. The questions he raised about privacy, digital currency, and even the nature of life and death continue to resonate. Join us in the next chapter as we delve deeper into the lasting impact of Hal's work and vision, examining how his legacy continues to shape the world in ways both profound and unforeseen. Join us in the next chapter as we delve deeper into the lasting impact of Hal's work and vision, examining how his legacy continues to shape the world in ways both profound and unforeseen. The investigation into Hal Finney's legacy begins not in the silicon corridors of tech firms, nor within the hallowed halls of academia, but rather in the quiet corners of those who knew him best. His family, friends, and colleagues offer a mosaic of perspectives, each shard reflecting a part of the man who helped shape the digital frontier. Hal's journey into cryptography and digital currency wasn't merely a professional endeavor. It was a passion deeply interwoven with his belief in individual freedom and privacy. To understand his impact, we must first explore the minds and memories of those who shared his journey. Let's start with his wife, Fran Finney. Fran recounts their early days together, a time when computers were burgeoning tools of innovation, yet their potential was largely uncharted. Hal's enthusiasm for these machines was infectious, and Fran recalls late nights filled with discussions about what could be, rather than what was. In an interview conducted in early 2020, she shared a poignant memory of Hal setting up a rudimentary computer station at their home in Santa Barbara, California. He would tinker for hours, Fran reminisced, trying to understand the nature of encryption and why it mattered so deeply. Hal's fascination with cryptography was a testament to his foresight, recognizing early on the power of privacy in an increasingly digital world. Fran's narrative is echoed by Phil Zimmermann, the creator of Pretty Good Privacy, or PGP, with whom Hal worked closely. Zimmermann remembers him as not only a brilliant programmer, but as an ardent advocate for the ethical use of technology. Hal joined Zimmermann's small team in 1991, just as PGP was gaining traction and attracting the attention and ire of government authorities. The U.S. government at the time deemed strong encryption to be akin to munitions, placing it under strict export restrictions. This legal challenge was a crucible that tested the resolve of those involved, including Hal. Zimmermann recalls vividly the anxiety of those years, the uncertainty of facing potential charges for merely advocating privacy. Hal was unflappable, Zimmermann stated in a 2019 interview. He believed that what we were doing was not only right but necessary for the future of personal freedom. Hal's contributions to PGP and his steadfastness during this turbulent period exemplified his commitment to the cause. The eventual resolution of the legal battles in favor of Zimmermann and his team set a precedent for the development of encryption technologies, a victory in which Hal was a pivotal player. Fast forward to January 12, 2009, when Hal received the first Bitcoin transaction from the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto. This 10 Bitcoin transaction marked the beginning of a new era in digital currency, and Hal's involvement was no coincidence. He had been active on the cryptography mailing list, where he first encountered Nakamoto's white paper outlining Bitcoin. Hal was immediately captivated by the concept of a decentralized currency, free from the oversight of central banks. His early correspondence with Satoshi reveals a mind eager to explore and to push the boundaries of what's possible. In these exchanges, Hal provided critical feedback and proposed enhancements that would lay the groundwork for Bitcoin's development. His technical insights and willingness to collaborate were crucial during these formative days. It is a testament to Hal's character that he approached these discussions with humility and a genuine desire to contribute to something larger than himself. The impact of these early interactions with Satoshi extends beyond technical advancements. Hal's belief in Bitcoin's potential for change inspired a generation of developers and enthusiasts, establishing a community spirit that persists today. Yet, it was not technology alone that defined Hal's legacy. His experiences navigating his ALS diagnosis in August 2009 also left an indelible mark on those who knew him. The debilitating disease did little to dampen his spirit or his resolve. Instead, Hal approached this new challenge with the same determination he had applied to his work. Friends recount the courage he displayed, continuing to code and engage with the Bitcoin community despite the physical limitations imposed by the disease. His perseverance was nothing short of inspiring, a testament to a man who refused to be defined by his circumstances. It was during these years that he began to contemplate his own mortality in more concrete terms. Hal's eventual decision to pursue cryonic preservation with the Alcor Life Extension Foundation in Scottsdale, Arizona, was indicative of his forward-thinking nature. This choice was rooted in both a curiosity about the future and a hope for the continuation of consciousness beyond traditional biological limits. Hal's body was cryonically preserved following his death in August 2014, a decision that sparked considerable public interest and debate. To some, this was a symbol of his unwavering belief in the potential of technology to extend human life, even as it raised profound ethical and philosophical questions about the nature of identity and existence. Through the lens of those who knew him best, Hal emerges as a complex figure, a visionary who navigated the interstices of technology and humanity with unyielding integrity. His contributions to PGP, Bitcoin, and the broader discourse on privacy and digital currency are lasting testaments to his impact. Yet it is his personal journey, marked by resilience in the face of adversity, that truly resonates. Hal's story is not merely one of technological achievement, but also of human perseverance and hope. As we conclude this chapter, we find ourselves drawn to the broader implications of Hal's legacy. The question remains, how will future generations interpret and build upon the foundations he laid? Join us in the next chapter as we explore the ongoing evolution of Hal's vision, examining its influence on current and emerging technologies that continue to redefine our world. The legacy of Hal Finney extends far beyond the confines of digital currency and cryptography. Born on May 4, 1956, in the small town of Coalinga, California, Hal grew up during a time of rapid technological advancement. His journey from a curious young boy to a pioneering figure in cryptography and Bitcoin left an indelible mark on the world. To truly understand the breadth of Hal's impact, we must look back to the early days of his career. After graduating from Caltech, Hal embarked on a career in computer science, joining the software industry at a pivotal moment. In the 1980s, he worked for a company called APH Technology Consultants, known for its work on video games like Asteroids. These early experiences honed his skills in software development and problem-solving, setting the stage for his future contributions. Hal's work with Phil Zimmermann on PGP, or Pretty Good Privacy, was a turning point in his career. PGP, launched in 1991, revolutionized the way individuals could secure their communications. At a time when the U.S. government viewed strong encryption as a munition, Hal's contributions helped empower individuals with the means to protect their privacy. The importance of this cannot be understated, as privacy became a cornerstone of the cypherpunk movement. Hal's involvement with the cypherpunks showcased his commitment to advancing digital privacy and personal freedom. Among a group of like-minded individuals, Hal helped to foster an environment where ideas could be freely exchanged and developed. This community was instrumental in laying the groundwork for what would eventually become Bitcoin. In 2009, the world witnessed the birth of Bitcoin, a decentralized digital currency that promised to revolutionize the financial system. Hal Finney's role as the first recipient of a Bitcoin transaction is a testament to his foresight and vision. On January 12, 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto, the mysterious creator of Bitcoin, sent Hal 10 Bitcoin. This moment marked the beginning of a new era in digital finance, one that Hal enthusiastically supported. However, 2009 was also the year when Hal received the devastating diagnosis of ALS, or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Despite the progression of this debilitating disease, Hal continued to advocate for Bitcoin and contribute to its development. His dedication to his work was unwavering, even as his physical condition deteriorated. Hal's vision for Bitcoin extended beyond its technical implications. He believed in its potential to transform lives and provide financial freedom to individuals worldwide. His insights into the network's scalability and security were invaluable, and his optimism inspired many within the community. As his health continued to decline, Hal made the decision to have his body cryonically preserved after his death. On August 28, 2014, Hal Finney passed away, but his story did not end there. The Alcor Life Extension Foundation in Scottsdale, Arizona, became the custodian of Hal's cryonically preserved body. Hal's decision embodied his hope for future advancements in science and medicine, reflecting his lifelong pursuit of knowledge and innovation. Hal's legacy is not just one of technological achievement, but also of human resilience and determination. His ability to remain optimistic in the face of adversity inspired those around him, both personally and professionally. The influence he wielded in the realms of cryptography and digital currency cannot be overemphasized, as countless individuals continue to build upon the foundations he helped lay. The enduring nature of Hal's work is evident in the ongoing evolution of Bitcoin and its acceptance in mainstream financial systems. Governments, financial institutions, and individuals alike are exploring the capabilities of this revolutionary technology. Hal's early involvement in Bitcoin's development ensured that his impact would be felt for generations to come. Beyond Bitcoin, Hal's contributions to cryptographic software like PGP have had a profound effect on digital security. His work laid the groundwork for future advancements in encryption, safeguarding the privacy of millions of individuals worldwide. This legacy of privacy and security remains a crucial aspect of our digital lives today. Hal's story is one of profound dedication to a cause greater than himself. His belief in the power of technology to change the world continues to inspire innovators and thinkers. Those who knew him speak of a man who was generous with his time and knowledge, always willing to help others understand the intricacies of cryptography and digital currency. The community that Hal helped to foster is a testament to his impact as well. As discussions about digital privacy and cryptocurrency evolve, the cypherpunk ethos that Hal embodied remains relevant. His legacy is carried forward by those who continue to challenge the status quo and seek to advance these technologies for the betterment of society. In reflecting on Hal Finney's life, one cannot help but be struck by the depth of his contributions. From his early work on video games to his pivotal role in Bitcoin, Hal's journey was one of curiosity and innovation. His story serves as a reminder of the potential each individual holds to make a lasting impact on the world. As we conclude this exploration of Hal Finney's legacy, we are left with a sense of gratitude for his life's work. His pioneering spirit and unwavering commitment to his beliefs continue to inspire new generations. In the next chapter, we will delve into the ongoing influence of his work and the future possibilities it holds. Hal Finney's journey offers a meditation on the interplay between human innovation and enduring vulnerability. Born in the quiet town of Coalinga, California, on May 4, 1956, Finney's life was marked by a blend of extraordinary vision and personal challenges. His contributions to cryptography through PGP and his pivotal role in the nascent days of Bitcoin show a mind that was always reaching for the future. Yet, it's the human elements of his story that linger. His life reminds us of the thin line between progress and the fragility of human existence. When he received the first Bitcoin transaction from Satoshi Nakamoto on January 12, 2009, it was more than just a transfer of 10 digital coins. It was an emblem of trust in technology, in ideas, and in the human spirit. Trust is a currency as much as any Bitcoin, and Hal Finney invested it liberally in things he believed would shape a better world. The cypherpunk movement, which Finney was a part of, was driven by ideals of privacy and freedom. These ideals are intricately woven with the threads of human nature. We are creatures that long for connection, but also cherish our individual space. Hal understood this duality, advocating for privacy while building tools that connect us deeper than ever before. His work reflects our collective striving for a balance between openness and security. Even as his body succumbed to ALS in August 2009, Finney's spirit and intellect soared. He continued to contribute to Bitcoin development and engage with the community, a testament to his resilience and dedication. His decision to cryonically preserve his body with the Alcor Life Extension Foundation in Scottsdale, Arizona, speaks to his unwavering belief in a future where the impossible becomes possible. As we reflect on Hal Finney's legacy, we're reminded that technological revolutions are nothing without the people who dare to dream them into reality. The historical significance of those 10 Bitcoin remains a beacon of what can be achieved when vision and courage walk hand in hand. Tonight, as the world winds down, take a moment to ponder the lasting impact of one person's journey. Imagine the cold, precise hum of machines in Arizona, preserving a hope of revival. Picture the immovable record on the Bitcoin blockchain, a digital testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. As you drift into sleep, let these thoughts settle softly. Consider the impact of lives lived with purpose and the quiet potential of the future. This has been Satoshi's Lullaby. Rest now.